Hi fellow readers and welcome on my channel. My name is Marie and I am here today to talk to you about 5 French books that I grew up with and that I really love. I'd like to start this video by saying I'm sorry. This was supposed to be posted yesterday and I messed up the editing and I accidentally deleted the footage of the video, so I had to redo it. That's why I'm a day late. I hope you forgive me. I forgive myself, so we're good on that part. So these 5 books that I have here are books that are references that most people my age have grown up with, just like I have. And this video is for you if you're currently learning French and you feel like you're stuck in your learning journey, and if you feel like you want to improve but you don't really know how, like what more you can do in order to have a better level. This is just a sign to start reading books in French. I'd say for these books, they are really easy to get through. I have one novel with me though. That one is the hardest that I will be talking to you about. And the other ones are graphic novels and very small novels, like short stories. In order to really enjoy and understand these books, you need to have at least a B1 level. So that being said, let's just get into the books. The first one that I have is literally the size of my upper body, and it is Ma Vallée, which means My Valley, by Claude Ponti. This author is very famous for their artwork. I can't remember if they're male or female, so I'm gonna call them a they, them. So they're really known for their artwork and for their little stories. You can find hundreds of those books in the set in the same universe, and all of them are really great, but this one is my all-time favorite. As you can see, it is very short, very small, and very easy to get through because the writing you don't have big chunks of words. It's really light writing, so it's not too much French, you know. And also the artwork is it's stunning. Look at that. The artwork is stunning. So this book is very easy. The hard part about it would be the play on words. These kind of books for children contain a lot of play on words. However, that do not keep you from understanding the story correctly, so you'll be fine if you don't understand the play on words. But basically it follows this little species right here, and they live in a valley and they just talk about everything that you can find in their valley, and it's the most beautiful little book. But anyway, so this is a book for children. If you like this one, you can find 100 others set in the same universe, which is kind of cool. And this author slash artist is very famous in France for that universe that they created. So yeah, this one is like a 10 out of 10. Next up, I have another kids book, but this time a little harder to understand, and those would be the Martine books. This is a series that have been around since 1954. I think that's when the first book came out. My grandmother grew up with those books, my mother grew up with those books, and I grew up with those books also. You can find a lot of different editions of these books. Some of them have CDs if you want to read the story as well as hearing it. It's pretty great when you're trying to learn the language. I personally prefer this edition because it's the one that I got when I was a kid, and also it's really pretty on the bookshelf. So this would be like short stories about that girl Martine, and it's just like her life. So you have Martine, a very unlikely Wednesday, Martine and the lost kitten, Martine at the circus, Martine horse riding, Martine dressing up. They're not that easy to get through because it's a bit harder to read than the first book that I presented. It's a lot of words. They're meant for children from, I'd say, 8 years old to 12 years old. So it's not that hard either to understand, but I think that one will give you like a vocabulary that you've never heard before in French, and that's pretty great. I learned a lot of vocabulary with those books. And also this series is great if you like just want to keep reading the same series in order to improve. That's what I did when I was learning English. I found myself a series with like hundreds of books in them, and I just like kept reading that same series until I finished the whole thing. So Martine is great for that because you, since it's been around for so long, you have like thousands of those. So they're great, pick them up, they're really, really cool. The only flaw that they have is that it's very, very old-fashioned. So like the names are very old, the customs are very old, but you know, it's part of the, I guess it's part of the experience, and you just have to move past it. But once you've done that, I think you'll really enjoy them. Next up, I have a graphic novel that I read very recently and that also came out very recently, and that would be Elles. So those 3 little books. They're also very pretty to have on the bookshelf. It basically follows the story of this girl right here, and she has several personalities, and she also has an evil side that's trying to take over all the personalities. And it's a really, really cute series. I really enjoyed it. I put it in the list today because I think it's a book that anybody can read. Like if you already know French at least a little bit, that one is very, very easy to get through because it's very graphic, you know, there's a lot of images and not much text. So I think that one would be good to start. The artwork is very pretty, and I think those books can really help you improve your French. Then I have another graphic novel. This is a binding of 8 books because this is an 8-book series. It's called Loup, and this one is, I'd say, the most famous graphic novel in France. Everybody has read it, everybody knows it, even the people who don't like to read, because this was made into a TV show and also a TV animated series. So this book just like has it all, you know. And it's basically the story of that girl. Her name is Lou, and she's completely obsessed with her next door neighbor, and she spies on him every single day. And it's just, it won't make you question your life in any deep way. It's just like a very cute story about love and friendship and relationships between the people that we love and the people that we like. And it is such a great graphic novel. So you don't have to buy the binding because it's pretty big. But it's an 8-book series. It starts when she's a little kid, and in the last book I think she's about 20 years old and she's going to college. And you just like grow up with her. This book is amazing. It has my heart. It's one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. It's just super cute. The only hard part about this book would be the slang. There's a lot of French slang that you probably won't understand, but again, that doesn't keep you from understanding the story correctly. And last but not least, I have my favorite book of all time. It's called La rivière à l'envers, which means the upside down river. This author is very, very famous in France. He's written countless of stories, middle grades mostly, I think. I read all of them, but this one remained my favorite. This one is a binding of 2 books, so you have the 2 books in just one. And it's way harder to read than the other ones because it is a novel. This book does exist in graphic novel as well. If that can make it easier for you to read, this is an option. But for my foreigner friends that are learning French, I always recommend getting the dyslexic version of it because they highlight some words in order to make them stand out. And you'll also find definitions of words within the books. It's basically the story of this little orphan. He runs a grocery store and he's bored out of his mind. And one night there's a strange girl that walks in and she asks for water from the river jar, which is the upside down river. And he doesn't have that, unfortunately. So the girl just like leaves and he never sees her again. And then he starts researching the topic of that weird upside down river, and he finds out that it's a river that gives eternal life to the people who drink its water. So he decides for the first time ever to close down his grocery store and follow the steps of that girl on her journey to find the Upside Down River. And as you read that story, you get to know more as to why she needs the water of that river. It's such a cute book. It's an amazing read. And the second book is even better than the first book. I loved the first book when I read it, and then I read the second book and I was like, wow, this was amazing. So yeah, if you're gonna tackle this, get either the graphic novel or the dyslexic version. This is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do read these books, please let me know what you thought about them, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!